That fucked.
What? It
That fucked hard.
In a
fucked
good way or a bad
hard.
way?
We are so back, baby.
We're back. We're back.
We are so back.
Oh, we're back. We're back. Woo!
I'm sensing a discrepancy in the energy here between me and you
We're back.
in regards to the show we just watched.
Yeah, it was good.
That fucked hard.
Yeah.
That was good. Holy shit. We are so back, baby.
It was Doctor Who.
It was Doctor Who, and I cannot believe I am saying this in 2023, but maybe that's not a surprise. Doctor Who says trans rights.
Yeah, I was very blown away. I did know going into it because I talked to my sister literally 30 minutes before the episode, and she said to me, "Hey, there's a trans character in the episode played by a trans actress." So I already going into it knew that there was a trans character in the episode.
And David Tennant is vocally very supportive.
I know
his
David
trans
Tennant is incredibly incredibly vocal about trans rights. So,
but I didn't know.
I already knew going into it that Donna's daughter was trans, and that was going to be a plot point in the episode.
I lost my fucking mind.
So going into it, I already knew that. So I didn't know how much it was going to be a part of it, whether it was just going to be very lightly touched on and probably glossed over, or if it was going to be a big part. I had no idea at the level. But going into it, I was like, yeah, it's going to be in there in some way. It's the BBC, so they're probably just going to very lightly touch on it and then gloss over it. But they actually went pretty hard on it.
They went super fucking hard on it.
Yeah, and they did it really well. It was very realistic and very loving and very real, and not like, really BBC-ified, fucking we're gonna. They didn't go, let's try and make it so we're doing both sides, inverted commas, of the story, like the BBC like to do, where they just sort of come in and just make up some fucking dog shit. They did some very realistic representation of the sort of trans character and trans life, and it was incredible. It was very beautifully done.
Some of the best Doctor Who moments are the ones where they are doing relatable real life situations, and to have them come back and I was coming into this thinking this is going to kind of dictate how I see all of this sort of new series. If they do these 3 episodes well, this is going to affect, or if they do them badly, I'm going to be like, oh well, the new stuff's going to be bad too, probably. And then to just have them come in and have them hit a home run square into my face.
An incredible first episode.
Within the first 15 minutes, it spends a pretty significant amount of time, and it is in fact integral to the plot of the episode. Spending time basically just going through a couple of mundane trans life situations where you've got some of the really shitty schoolmates. That's the first thing, and that was the first point where I was like, oh wait a minute, is this character trans? Oh shit. And then the conversation between Donna and her mum was
it just starts off with because we meet this, so we just
felt
just so
seen.
It was very painful. So we start off the episode kind of basically with the Doctor.
We don't need to do. Okay, look.
No, but I want to set the thing for the people who are listening.
Set the scene for everyone who's.
But because you just super glossed over it,
We'll
I want to set the sort of thing. So we see the Doctor meeting Donna and her daughter, who Rose, and then we go to the Rose and Donna going home, and on their way home, there's some boys from school and they've obviously Rose has grown up and like not at school anymore. I assume 'cause she seems quite old now. Like they've left school. They used to be at school, and these guys are like the cycling past on their bike from when they used to be at school, and they're dead naming her, and being really awful, and then
I want to talk
Donna's
about
like,
trans things now.
and Donna's
I don't
like,
need any of this
I know,
premise.
is that so and so's kid? Oh, I fucking knew her. When she was at school, I'm gonna go around and tell her what her kids are saying. I'll stand up for her. I'm gonna fucking get him, like that, because she's like standing up for Rose because she's a good
Hey,
mum.
that bit I kind of glossed over because that's not something that's happened to me. I've not had a parent do that, but the bit after with the grandparents got me super fucking good because that was something that I experience still.
Yeah,
In
it
a way
happens.
of like, oh hey grandma, oh hey granddad, oh you get things wrong all the time.
Yep.
Oh and they're old, so they have an excuse, and I'm like, well, yeah, it's just still gonna annoy me. But the fact that we came into this and Donna shut that shit down, I was like, oh, it feels so good. But also, like, they kind of did have like a mature conversation about it, kind of how you would expect a conversation to go, where Donna's like, it's not that complicated. She's absolutely gorgeous, and it's pretty great, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, it fucked so hard. Oh my god, and it was so like I wanted to cry at that point. Because I hadn't realized
I did cry.
Yeah, I
basically
hadn't.
through the entire episode for different reasons. I
Yeah,
cried for trans reasons. I cried for Donna and the Doctor reasons. I cried for people possibly dying reasons, and I cried for Wilf maybe have died reasons, and I cried for Donna maybe have died reasons.
Wolf made me cry.
So I was just crying for like the whole episode. So when we started this episode of the podcast, and you were like, "Wow, we got different energies," it's because I'm still crying.
The Wilf thing, the reason the way they did that, I'm gonna make you cry again. I'm gonna cry because I love Wilf. Oh god, the Wilf thing. The actor has passed away.
I know.
He
It's
passed
very
away last
sad.
year, and I think everyone is sad about it. In that scene, I'm like super happy about the trans things, but also like deeply emotional. The whole episode was so good. Oh my god. Oh, oh my gosh. The fact that the trans stuff was integral to the plot, the fact that it was like addressed so well. I didn't realize the girl playing the trans actor was the same girl from Heartstopper, who also plays a trans character in that. Which, when I realized that, I did a massive pog because I was like, God damn, they did it good in that show as well, and
I have not seen Heartstopper. I don't know.
they do the trans rep good in that show. That's all you need to know.
They do the trans rep
and
good.
she plays a trans character who swaps schools from an all boys school to an all girls school. It's a school drama, but it's gay. It's great. If you like school dramas and are gay. Weirdly, not for me. I'm not into the school drama bit. The gay bit was great.
I hate school dramas.
Yeah, it's probably for more school age appropriate. That's what gets me. Is this is Doctor Who in 2023, and the fact that we get to have a Doctor Who like it seems weird and stupid for me to like lose my mind over like, oh, it's just Doctor Who. It's just some like silly like BBC TV show that's like about a goofy man or whatever. But I'm like, children watch this show.
Yeah.
I know they watch it because I watched it and all my fucking friends watched it. Some of them still watch it. And I know that British children, many of them are going to have tuned into this and actually gotten to watch a really well done episode on just some like mundane trans shit.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
exactly.
so unreal.
And
And to have that come from the BBC, who you did say earlier,
Yeah.
have been notoriously transphobic when it comes to their like reporting side of things.
Yeah.
But fucking Tennant and RTD and Donna and Ro.
Well, even with that, it's like, you know, even with the last sort of two seasons of Doctor Who, when they queer baited the shit out of everyone.
I know, right?
Setting up the Yaz and the Doctor thing really hard because the sort of everybody on like the sort of all the fans were like, yeah, you're shipping the Doctor and Yaz, and they really lent into it. Basically, had both the Doctor and Yaz confess to another character that they were deeply, madly in love with each other, but they couldn't possibly bear to say it to each other, and then they were like, and then had that character in the middle go, you must say it to each other, you have to, you never know what could happen. And then that was like at the end of the season, and then there was like a 4-episode like season, mini season arc, or 5 episodes or whatever, and then had like 5 episodes stretch out and just did nothing with it, left us right at the end of the last season, and they just went, wow, we're such great friends. And then that was it, and they parted ways, and it was like, wow, what an incredible fucking massive queer bait. And
I
it was
know,
just, Jesus
such
Christ,
a fuck off.
what an incredible, like, that was such a massive,
I think that's part, that is part of
so
why it's
I'm just so incredibly fucked off with the BBC and Doctor Who, and then they've come in and done this incredible, like, trans rep, and I'm just like,
it's just,
hell yeah.
oh my god, there was so much good shit this episode, but I had to get the trans stuff out first.
But they did a thing with pronouns too, because the Doctor like basically assumed the Meeps pronouns,
There
and
was
then
some
Rose
stuff
was
that
like, whoa, did you just assume the Meeps
Yeah.
pronouns? And then they called out the Doctor, and the Doctor was like, oh yeah, that's a fair point. Well, what pronouns do you prefer? So that was like really nice too.
Meep uses only the definitive pronouns. The Meep may be referred to only as the Meep.
Yeah.
Which was pretty amazing. Like, it was goofy, but it was also like,
It was just
I feel like
a nice sort of thing of just going, hey, you know, don't assume somebody's pronoun.
Yeah, that was nice. I do think it did feel like a little bit like, I don't know. It was like a little bit like, I don't know. They were just very like, come out with it, because the way they did that was like, did you just assume their it was a little bit like on the nose.
I don't know. It was like it was silly enough. Like
yeah,
it was jokey enough.
I was like, okay, fair enough. I guess this is a thing that would happen, even though I've never. The only context I've heard someone say something like that is when everyone is like super LGBT friendly, and I've never really heard. I've never in a situation where like people haven't. If I'm with people and we haven't talked about like LGBT things or pronoun things, I'm never gonna hear myself or anyone like be like, "Did you just assume their pronouns?" Like that's not a thing that comes up in everyday conversation, and I think that like threw me a little bit.
Know who the Doctor is by some sort of subconscious memory osmosis, then you'll know that he's totally comfortable with that conversation. Okay.
Oh yeah. I just think like it had just come off like some like really good like, oh, this is what the conversation probably looks like in a family, and then they were like, and here's a bit where we do a gotcha and do the pronouns thing, and I'm like, that doesn't feel like something that would actually happen, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, if you've got some sort of weird memory osmosis, and actually everybody knows who the Doctor is, but they can't really remember who he is, but they do know who he is, apart from the husband, but they, you know, then if they are basically a family.
I do think, are you going to hate me for skipping to right at the end?
Oh my god!
They say something
right
about his like, they solve a problem at the end, and they're literally, Rose and Donna turn to the Doctor and they're like, a male presenting doctor would never understand. And I was like, I don't know about this one. I was like, okay,
damn.
the other stuff was like good. This is just like unnecessary. Like no one really wants to. That's not really a normal thing to say. Like it's kind of fun to say jokingly, but also you're like saying it amidst all these other like much more serious, like really well handled thing, and then you're like, a male presenting doctor would never understand. And I'm like,
he did just transition.
It's true. That's true. Do we want to talk about that now?
What?
Do we want to,
the doctor just transitioned. That's
Doctor
fine.
confirmed non-binary. Year of our Lord 2023,
it was a joke
baby.
about the fact that the doctor just transitioned. That's all. You know,
Mr. Sir Captain Mrs. Doctor Who.
Yeah, there was a joke right at the start of the episode as well, where the doctor was, using using the little magical
He's
paper.
non-binary.
The psychic
She's
paper.
non-binary. They're all non-binary.
The doctor used the psychic paper right at the start of the episode on Donna's husband, cab driver, to try and get somewhere, and it said Miss instead of Mister, and he was like, "We're going stupid psychic paper."
He was like, "Oh, catch up, come on." But they do actually at the end. They literally, there's a line about them being like, "Oh, aren't you like all the genders anyway?" And they're like, "The doctor is non-binary," and they like straight up just say it. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think there was something like that, right?
I'm pretty sure they did. I didn't hallucinate that, right? They did actually.
They did say something like that because they were like,
they're like, "You've been a man, you've been a woman. Who knows what's really going on with you? You're non-binary." And he was like, David Tennant was like, "Yes, I am."
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, what's happening? Are we doing this?
Yeah.
We actually get to do this?
We can check.
Holy shit, this is great.
Let's just pause the episode a second and just literally go and check.
Well, I'm gonna have to edit this out. I can't believe it.
I know. I know you can edit this out. We can check.
Oh, I've immediately cut to it. 48:18.
Incredible.
I actually just jumped to it. Okay, hold on. So, Okay, so the line is, they're talking about, like, Rose, and, like, what her memories of all the stuff, and they're talking about the line where they're like, "We're binary, she's not, because the doctor's male and female, and neither, and more." And, like, the music's swelling, and they've saved the day, and it's like, what the fuck is happening right now? Are we doing this? Apparently the answer's yes. So the doctor confirmed non-binary, happy birthday, happy coming out day, Doctor Who. This is so wild. It's just wild. I don't know how to, like, process this, because this is so, like, I just never thought I would see it on BBC television, you know?
I know. It's insane. We did it!
We did it! The gays win!
The gays have won!
We
Fuck the BBC!
Men.
We did it! Woohoo!
Yeah. Wait.
What?
I mean, yeah, fuck the BBC!
Yes!
For normal reasons, that men joke I just made was a joke. As I said, we have defeated men, and I would like to clarify that was entirely a joke. But fuck the BBC, baby! Woo! That one's not a joke. Yeah! We did it, baby.
Hell yeah.
I can't.
Oh.
It's a good time to be alive. Should you want to talk about the other stuff?
I was going to say, should we talk about the episode? Oh my god.
I mean, the episode was
made me do a
great.
big cry because it was all the Donna and... So, in the past, we had the Doctor and Donna travel together, and the Doctor had to wipe Donna's mind because she absorbed the power of the Time Lord's TARDIS-iness into her brain, or whatever, or the power of the Time Lord's regeneration magic. I can't remember.
She's got Time Lord in her brain. She's a human. It's not good for the soul.
She's like the time. I can't remember the
exact. It's not a big
It's
deal.
been a very long time ago when I watched this.
She dies if she sees the Doctor and remembers that she's a Time Lord.
And when she does remember, she's like a super genius. And she's basically like the Doctor. I think it is like Time Lord regeneration, Doctor Brain Magic, right? And she's like the Doctor Donna, and has like she's like a super genius, and basically is like the Doctor, and there's like two of them effectively, except she's got Donna's personality.
Yeah, basically.
So it's incredible. But like, he wipes her mind, and she's just been living her life, and she's had a kid, Rose, and she's got a husband, and the Doctor left her with a lottery ticket of winning like £160 million or something, and she bought a house with it, and then gave the rest of it away.
Madness.
Because
I didn't really...
a silly sausage.
It was madness, yeah, man. I feel like I'm more just thinking about the meat.
Okay. So the Doctor spends the entire episode asking everybody why Donna's giving this money away. And then I'm pretty sure, like, when he finally gets the answer really late in the episode, the Donna says, because it's what he would do.
He's like, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
He would do.
Because she doesn't remember because she has no memory of who the Doctor is. But she feels something's missing. And she can't remember who the Doctor is. But she did it because she has this like latent memory of the Doctor.
Is it sad if I'm not that invested in the Donna stuff? Like,
yes.
They're great together, and they're really entertaining on screen together. I kind of don't care what they do with the characters, because they literally have brought her back after 10, 15 years.
Well, I thought she was dead at the end of the episode, and I was bawling my eyes out.
They can do whatever they want with her, because she won't be around for long. So as long as whatever's happening is good shit, I don't really mind. And it was good shit. It was really good shit this episode.
I thought they brought her back and killed her off in one episode, and I was absolutely devastated.
I was like, oh yeah, fair enough.
I was absolutely crying my goddamn eyes right out of my brain hole.
I thought it was just a sweet way to handle her character. I was like, yeah, fair enough. Because he was like, oh, I came to say goodbye when she quote unquote died. He was super sad, and I was like, yeah, fair enough. That's an okay way for this to happen. I don't really mind, like, that feels like a graceful exit for Donna as a character. Like, it makes sense. It was really lovely. It was really sweet. I mean,
it was very, very nice, but also it was very sad. She got a happy ending.
Well, yeah, it's sad when people die.
Happy, sad ending.
People die in lots of shows.
Wow.
Sorry, I'm being very. I know I'm being very.
People die. It's very sad.
Well, okay. To me, that thing is like.
Jeez.
The bit that got me was like how Tennant reacted and all of the like how much she cared. But also, it's not like she's going to be around beyond these episodes. We get like maybe 3 episodes with her, and then still gonna dip. I thought that Rose was gonna be the new companion for Shuti.
Well, she might be.
I think she's going to be the new companion for Shuti.
Well, she might be. I don't know.
Yeah, I think she is, yeah.
Oh, God, I don't know. I did do a little tweet after the episode, and I said, I don't know how much she's going to be around. And somebody said, I think she's going to be around.
I did a little tweet.
Well, Fox replied saying, I think she's going to be a big part of the next 2 episodes as well. So
what, Rose?
Yeah,
or just she?
Rose. Yeah, because I said I don't know how much the well, I was being very vague about who the trans character was, so I didn't want to spoil the episode. But yeah,
it did with the way she was. Can we talk about the non-binary thing as well?
Yeah.
We talk the binary non-binary thing. For them to have, we're doing it now. Okay, we're doing a skip around. Okay,
it's a classic.
It was really stupid. There were a lot of really funny, goofy, like lovingly stupid moments this episode. Like, this was a really fun episode because it just kind of shamelessly charged into the nonsense that is Doctor Who without caring too much. And the fact that they solved their like binary problem, the Donna had like some kind of problem with like the whole like Time Lord in her brain, but she's a human and she would say binary a lot.
Yes.
And then Rose turns up and she's like, and I'm non-binary.
Yes, that was so funny. I was like, oh my god, of course, okay.
It's like, this is the stupidest possible way you could have resolved this problem, and it's just really funny, and I kind of love it.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Like that, I don't know what to say about that.
Oh my god.
I hope she's the new companion.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
I mean, to be fair, she's not as funny and interesting as Donna, so maybe there'll be like a more funny and interesting companion. I don't know.
Well, I've intentionally not really watched any of the trailers or teasers or anything.
Oh, me
I'm
neither.
going into it very fresh.
I think the trailers are a mislead anyway.
Yeah, I don't really want to know anything about like Shooty's Doctor or anything. I want to be go into it super like I don't want to know. I know very little. I know a little bit about like the sort of Toy Master things that might be coming up over the next few episodes.
He's an old villain. That's all I know.
Yeah, and even that seems like a little bit of speculation. I don't even know how much of that is actually confirmed.
Oh, you know who I want to pivot to talking about?
Yeah.
Can we talk about Ashley?
Ashley?
Is she a new... I assume she's a known character from Jodie.
For the science lady in a wheelchair?
Yeah.
No, I think she was new.
She just showed up and was super chill.
Yeah.
Can we talk more about this? Because it was pretty rad.
Do we want to power through the sort of episode? Because we kind of touched on, like, a lot of the start of the episode with the sort of trans rep and Donna and Rose anyway.
I am going to fixate on Meet Ashley and the Zogroth.
Well, it's okay because Ashley appears basically in the bit that I'm about to talk about instantly anyway.
Great.
Yeah, so obviously, you know, we talked about Donna, Rose, they, you know, meet the Doctor, go home, trans rep stuff, blah, 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 blah. Then, whilst all that's happening, a spaceship crashes over London, OMG. And the Doctor kidnaps... He doesn't kidnap, but he gets into Donna's husband's taxi and takes them and goes to investigate the crash, and Unit's already securing the scene. And the Doctor sneaks in because he can't be asked to deal with the Unit, especially because he's his new old self, and he doesn't want to deal with all of that shit. He doesn't know who he is right now.
He's got like 100 in stealth. He just walks in, basically,
he's just like,
and no one sees
he knows
him.
a lot about Unit, and he knows what's going on, and he's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna go beep 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 around the side, la la la.
Oh, there's a really funny moment where a journalist is reporting. Is this a dig at the BBC's reporting? Because I think it's like a BBC journalist reporting, and then Unit shows up and literally just kidnaps the journalist.
Like they just grab them,
just a man
throw them in the back
up,
of a van, slam the back door, the van door shut.
The camera's still rolling. I thought that bit was so funny. Oh, it's such a good like tone setter.
You're like, yep, just get the site secure.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the Doctor's just like chilling out, trying to find some info on this spaceship. And there's this cool Unit scientist lady, who's in a wheelchair, called Ashley. She's just chilling out at the scene.
Yeah, and she's like the authority. She's like, there's always like some person, there's Unit who's just all the chumps.
Normally Kate's like around, or the other cool scientist lady from the earlier.
Yeah, there's one actor, or one person who's in charge of all of Unit in that situation, and this time it was Ashley, who lovely ginger lady in a wheelchair.
She was always a good one.
It was great. It was really cool seeing the like wheelchair rep, and the like, the way they kind of did that. I mean, I'm not like disabled or anything, so like I don't know, but I can just be a person and look at the thing. Like they did there was a bit with staircases, and they were like, we have to go immediately, and she was like, yeah, go on, just go. The one thing that bothered me,
they were like, oh, something's happening on the spaceship, we got to get up there fast, and she was like, well, don't let me stand in, you know, don't let me be the problem, you get up there. And I don't know if that was
the one thing that bothered me was, barring the military weapons contained inside, she had a really shit chair. Like, she's from UNIT. She's involved with these, like, special military operations.
So you think she
can't even give her, like, a motor-powered wheelchair or something?
Okay.
Or, like, a wheelchair that can handle different terrain? Like, it's just kind of like a very bare-bones metal wheelchair. And I was looking at it, and I was like, what is this wheelchair?
Rather than using a motorized chair.
Maybe? But, like, I feel like it should have jetpacks in and shit.
Okay.
This is Doctor Who.
Yeah.
This is Doctor Who.
It should be like a floating Dalek chair.
That would be great. Like, she's
like
in UNIT.
Like a fucking, like a Stavros floating chair.
Like, she's in UNIT. She should be able to get whatever the fuck she wants. Like, yeah, she has, like, rockets and shit in her wheelchair.
Okay.
Why can't it just fly? Or, like, you know, she's got, like, a grappling hook or something.
Daleks just floating around in this fucking
She's got, like, a helicopter chair or something. That feels like something Doctor Who would do. She like, helicopter propellers emerge and she starts flying. I feel like,
you know, from a representation point of view, you just gotta have someone in a normal wheelchair. You can't just whap some tech on it. It's like you can't magic away somebody's, like...
It's an aid.
Yeah.
And I know there's people with... I saw this video on someone who has a wheelchair, got, like, tire treads on their wheelchair, and they can, like, go through, like, forest paths because of the, like, tracks on their wheel. And, like, you get people with, like, motors on their wheelchairs. So I looked at this and I was like, okay, this is great. I feel like the trans thing is awesome and they did that really well. They could probably do more fun stuff with the, maybe they're gonna have more disabled characters. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I think there is, like, a thing of, like, you know, maybe she could have had some different things on it. But also, there is the thing of, like, I feel like there is, like, a certain level of technological upgrades you could do, but then there is the, like, thing of, like, when people have, and this applies for, like, sort of, this can apply for trans things as well, with, like, surgeries and everything as well, and, like, you know, everything. It's like the idea of, like, in stories and things, you don't want to, like, magically remove somebody's problems and disabilities and like, struggles in life. And I think that's like a thing of, like, it's even a technological solution in universe is still a magical thing. You go, well, they'd have the technology, and it's, like, still a magical solution. You still just, you know, you go, like, well, you can just walk now because we've got the tech. It's like, well, that's just a magical solution. It's like,
I agree, but I still think they should have given her like a jetpack or something. I don't know. Like, so I still think she should have been able to just, like, she's shooting rockets and shit from her. I also think she was much more of a side character than,
she had a bit where she was like, I'm gonna hold the doorway, because she well, that's kind of later on, but she has a bit in the episode where she's like, oh, I'm gonna hold off the people, I'm gonna hold this hallway for us, and then she doesn't, like, you don't
she
actually see
disappears.
her doing anything, which is kind of sad. You don't. It would have been nice to see her actually fighting with her wheelchair with weapons in it, because we do see her wheelchair have weapons in it. But yeah. Maybe somebody more like I obviously said some stuff there, but I'm not. I don't have a disability myself, so if anybody has some more things that they would chime in.
I think it would be really funny.
More knowledge.
I think it would be really funny
more
if
interested in knowing more.
Like after the events of that, we had a scene with her just like calling in special forces to get ramps installed.
Yeah.
Or just get like wheelchair accessible like lifts or something in the fucking steelworks. I think that'd be hilarious. Just be like, can we please make this building wheelchair accessible in case something happens here again? Like I think they could have done. It felt like it was great to have a character, a disabled character, someone who has, I don't know what the term for it, someone in a wheelchair. Felt great. But it did feel like it was a bit more lip servicey than compared to like the trans stuff and the Rose stuff, which was like, oh, they're like really addressing this, and this is an important part of this episode, and like it ended up being a major plot point, which was wild.
Yeah.
I was happy enough with the mundane like life stuff that was like a very like poignant to me. I was like, oh, this is super sweet, and then it became super important. I was like, oh, this is actually crazy. Whereas like she was like, I'm here and I'm badass and I'm not really in the episode that much, but I'm cool and I'm cool. Which kind of in a way like reminds me of I think I'm just asking for more. I hope we get more stuff like that.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think Doctor Who's always kind of trickled in more of that sort of rep, whereas the sort of LGBT rep is something we've never really got much of. But they've never given it much focus. It's always been at the side.
Yeah.
It's always been sort of very like, it's always been there at the side, and it's never been something that they've kind of lent into very hard and told a very focused story on.
For sure.
Yeah.
Anyway,
carrying the actual story, the Doctor and and the character whose name I've suddenly completely forgotten.
Ashley.
God, we talked about them for so long, and I just had Rose's name stuck in my head. I'm staring at a picture of Rose right now, so
yeah, me too.
It's all I can think about.
Pictures of Ashley.
Doctor and Ashley are like talking about the crashed spaceship, and they're like, it didn't actually crash, it just parked. And they're like, and then we cut back to Rose, and she's at home, and one of her friends is like, oh hey, over here, do you know about that spaceship crash? A little escape pod came off of it, and it's open. Oh my gosh! And Rose meets a little really cute alien called the Meep. Oh, it's so fluffy and cute. Oh my gosh.
She meets Meep, and Meep is like, literally looks up at her and just goes,
it's got
Meep, Meep.
And it's got the cute...
like, okay, I see what we're doing today then, Doctor Who. Meep. Is this what?
It's got
Meep
the
is
like,
Meep.
Meep is Meep, and it's got the cute
Meep.
little puppy dog eyes.
Meep has ouchie.
It's got a little cut ouchie hand, and it's got little cute puppy dog eyes. It's so
I'm just
sweet.
like, okay, we have a very openly wonderful trans character, and we have a cute little furry creature. I can see who we're appealing to this episode, Doctor Who.
Yeah, it's a little cute alien. And then
I love Meep.
Yeah, and Donna goes, and Rose is trying to hide it, and Donna goes in and sees it, and ends up bringing it into the house because she's freaking out, because she's like, there's a fucking alien in my shed, and she comes into the house, and then Donna's mum's freaking out because she knows about the Doctor, and she knows about the fact that Donna's not supposed to remember any of this stuff, so she's mega freaking out, because if she's like, Donna, remember, she's gonna die. So she's completely freaking the fuck out. And meanwhile, the Doctor's found out about this escape pod and he's on his way over there. And then he realizes that it's near Donna's house. So he immediately beelines over there because he's like, that's obviously where it is. He's like, come on. That obviously shit's going to have gone over there. He's like, geez, shit wraps around Donna Noble like a magnet. It's obviously going to have gone over to Donna's house.
So Unit is rushing in to the steelworks, and they're rushing in somewhere, and he's with them, like just in the background, like kind of chilling, hiding on a van or whatever. And then he hears Donna's voice in the distance. They play like some audio that's literally Donna just going like, "What is that thing?" And he's like, "Hang on, that's Donna's voice." And he goes off to.
Well, I think he realizes whilst he's in the back of the van that he's on Donna's street, and so he just like, oh, it's obviously going to be at Donna's house. Like, you know, he was literally talking to Ashley before as well, while he's talking to Ashley, going like, you know, I've ended up here. I've got my old face. Oh, there was a really great conversation as well, which I really, sorry, we kind of skipped over.
Oh, yeah.
So there's like, it's this great conversation, because I was thinking, okay, the Doctor's got his old face back. So how are they going to handle this when he meets somebody from, like, Unit or whatever? Are they going to be like, are they going to just be like, oh, yeah, hi, Doctor. Yeah, we knew you when you were Jodie Doctor. Yeah, how you doing? Yeah, of course, I know that you've regenerated into Doctor. Don't worry about it. Or are they going to be, like, thinking that he's the old Doctor? And they
thought he was the old one.
Yeah, they thought he was the old one. And he starts mentioning the things that, like, he's been through since being the old Doctor. And they're like, whoa, you shouldn't know about that. That's your future. And he's like, but I've regenerated. And I have lived through all that. And I've regenerated and got this same face. And they're like, oh, that's weird. And so I was like, that was such a cool interaction. Because I was really wondering how they were going to play that.
It was a fun way to do it.
Yeah.
I wasn't really interested in. There's a lot more guns in Doctor Who now, and a lot more like.
There was in this episode.
Action. Yeah, there wasn't.
Sometimes they have. Sometimes they do. Well, the Doctor never does gun things, but sometimes like Unit rolls up, and sometimes Unit doesn't roll up. Sometimes the Doctor, goes, Unit, hey, come and roll up here, and sometimes the Doctor goes, Unit, you fucking assholes. So,
sometimes the Doctor materializes walls of plasma with his sonic screwdriver that can block projectiles. What the fuck, Doctor?
Yeah, sometimes that's the first time he's done that. Sometimes
it's time to make a wall with my screw, just a wall of light. How's that for a sonic screw? Okay, he's had some upgrades, I guess. Sure, yeah, go for it.
Why not? But yeah, the Doctor, he shows up at Donna's house. Everybody's freaking out. Donna's mum's mega freaking out now that the Doctor's shown up.
Oh, you know what's great?
Yeah?
He walks through the door. She sees him from outside. She lets him in, and he walks in, and she immediately slaps him.
Yeah, like full on.
And I'm like, oh, name a more iconic duo than David Tennant and getting slapped by mums. The fucking best. It goes hard every time.
Oh my gosh.
I'm pretty sure he's been slapped by like all of his companions' mums. It's so great.
It's like, oh god, wait, so definitely been slapped by
Rose's mum.
I'm pretty sure Martha's mum. Did we done Martha's episodes yet? We haven't got there yet.
No, I don't think we.
No, we haven't. We need to do those episodes. We haven't got there yet.
That's for later. It's fine.
Yeah.
Annie gets slapped by Donna's mum. I don't know if there's anyone else, but I think it's just Tennant that just gets slapped by mums a lot.
Well, obviously he doesn't meet. He doesn't meet Amy's mum. Amy doesn't have a mum.
Yeah, she doesn't.
Because she gets absorbed by the crack in the wall. She doesn't exist.
Oh shit, yeah, I forgot about that. Well, that's Not Tennant though. That's
No, that's
the
true.
guy
That's
after.
Matt Smith. That's true.
Smith.
That's
Smith,
true.
yeah.
I was just thinking about the Doctor. I was like, well,
I think it's just Tennant. I don't even think
Yeah.
Eccleston gets slapped. I'm not
he
sure
might
though.
do.
I don't know.
He might do.
Maybe it's just a tradition of the Doctor
Well,
getting slapped by mums.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, and they have a conversation with the pronouns and everything about the meep, and the Doctor's like basically trying to. The Doctor's just being incredibly competent and just being like, "I'm going to sort this situation out. Don't you all worry."
Yeah.
But he's not telling them who he is, because he doesn't want to tell Donna who he is.
yeah,
And
he's just like,
being
I'm here to help.
I'm here to help, and he's just being like super competent and helpful. And yeah, it's a really cool scene. And then he's like asking where Wilf is, and they're like, "Oh, he's no longer with us," and he's like super sad, and he's just he wells up. It's very emotional, and I really cried. In fact, thinking about it right now,
Yeah, I cried. I cried
crying
as well.
again.
I'm thinking about it, and it's making me want to cry.
yeah.
And
And then
he-
classically, in
I'm
Donna,
like, he's not
and-
dead.
He's
He's
not
just gone to the
dead,
retirement.
you
He's
idiot.
94. He can't get down the stairs.
Yeah.
God,
Even though they said-
some lady called Ashley says he's ex-military and put him up.
No, it was
basically
Kate.
for free.
It was-
or Kate.
Yeah, it was
Right.
Kate. Yeah, some
put up-
lady from UNIT said he was ex-military, and he put him up in a lovely thing with a garden and a house and thing for
Cottage.
free. Yeah, and then the Doctor's like, "Oh yeah, oh Kate, oh lovely she is. Yeah, I know Kate," like that, and they're all like,
I think.
who the
I
fuck
think
is
that's
this
just
guy?
a really. I think
it's
that's just
Kate
a really
from UNIT.
sweet.
Who's in charge of UNIT? Kate.
I think the reason they said that was like a really, really sweet way of like acknowledging the actor passing away. I think.
Well, he's filmed scenes for
This?
Doctor Who. Yeah, that was the last he filmed scenes, and I'm pretty sure
shit!
he's gonna be in one of the episodes.
Oh my, that's gonna be wild.
Yeah, so it's gonna be very, very sad. I was expecting to see him at the end of this episode, and then obviously we didn't.
That's gonna be really wild.
Yeah. So then they're chilling out in the house. Then some baddies show up. So there's some mind-controlled unit soldiers because they went to go investigate the ship, and there's some weird bug aliens that are hunting the meep, and they all start shooting into the house, and they have
And
a
they have a
firefight.
shootout
A mega
from either
shootout.
side of the house.
Yeah, it's pretty
which
cool.
I fucking love because we're straight back into like that classic Who feeling of a kid or someone who's super bored being like, what if aliens invaded my house and they had a shootout? It's like, oh, Doctor Who, I love you so much for just like letting us explore these really stupid fantasies of
What
these
if I
just
was
like
sat in my
amazing
living room
fantasies.
and some aliens came in my front door, and some soldiers attacked from my back door, and
We
I'd
started
have to
having a
get out.
shootout.
How would I get out of my house? Okay, so I use my sonic screwdriver to make a force field, and I make a second force field, and we move the force field to block off the front and the back door, and then we go upstairs. Okay? And then
And
once
after
we're
that, we get in the
upstairs-
attic,
Yeah.
use a sonic screwdriver to knock down the wall to the next attic over. Because
it's
obviously,
genius.
terrorist housing, you get from one house to the next. All you gotta do is knock the bloody wall down. We escape. Just have to go in 5 doors down to where we parked the car. It's like
Genius.
oh, it's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful fucking. I feel like we've just done that in I don't know what accent that was meant to be, but I think that's probably just most likely to happen in London because that's where a shitload of suburbs are. Like,
Oh dear. It's just so like
it's so great.
It's so Doctor Who.
And maybe as soon as that started happening, I was like, oh, this is perfect. I'm happy. This is great. And also, there's a kid, one of the neighbors has a kid who's like, he doesn't do anything this episode. His entire, like, all the scenes with him are just him being like, there's aliens in the, I can't believe it, there's aliens. And then later when the gunfire is happening between the soldiers, the unit soldiers, and the like green bug aliens, he's just there in his bedroom window, like staring down, watching. He doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
It's just
he
it's just
represents
really
every
important.
kid watching the show on TV.
Yeah.
Going,
Oh, there's aliens. Oh
There's
my
aliens.
God. They're having a shootout on my street.
On
What's
my
happening?
street.
It's like, I love you so much, Doctor Who.
And then as they're escaping, they get shot at, and the Doctor checks the pulse of one of the soldiers. And then they escape.
They go to a
parking
car
lot.
park, an underground car park.
And the Doctor...
and they get out.
Yeah.
And the Doctor invokes the Shadow Proclamation.
That's right, Shadow Proclamation's back, baby!
It's back, baby! Shadow
And he
Proclamation
summons in some of the bug
time!
people.
And he puts on a judge's hat and he holds court.
Puts the meep on trial.
Versus some bug aliens.
Yeah.
And the bug aliens accuse the meep of being the leader of the race of the meeps. The meep kind, who were turned into warlike monsters after their son mind controlled them.
Oh yeah, the son went weird and sort of basically made this sort of psychedelic light, which then made them all go crazy, and now they use that psychedelic light to turn other people, mind control people and make them also crazy, which is also how we see them mind control the unit soldiers. It
was the most incredible heel turn.
Well, my dad called it as they were escaping. I watched it with my parents, and as we were watching, as they were escaping the houses through the roofs, my dad went, I bet the meep's actually the one who's evil.
Yeah.
And then as they escaped, the Doctor's like, hang on a second. They're escaping, and the Doctor goes, we might have just made we maybe just escaped, or maybe we've actually something worse has happened, or something like that. And then they start it, and then it's like, yep, the meeps. So that starts putting them on trial, and they accuse the meep, and the meep's like, all right, fuck this bullshit. And the little cute meep character, who's this beautifully animated, or is he animated?
I don't know if he's... I wanted to talk about this.
Yeah.
Because it looks to me like practical effects with CGI.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like, is they made the practical effects and then they CGI'd on top of it to make it smoother. But it looks honestly amazing. The aliens,
the movement. I'm just quickly looking at it right now.
It's really good.
The movement of it's so smooth. It has to be animated.
Yeah. It looks great though, and I'm just
yeah.
It was. I mean, I'm also I've seen some practical effects, and if this is really high budget, then this could be straight up a practical effect. But it does kind of have, I think you're right. It does have a bit too much smoothness, and maybe it'll look bad in a few years. But there's no way this is...
he's the way the smoothness of the movement, it's too high FPS for it to be.
I don't know. It's so hard to say, but
I feel like there's no way it's an animatronic. It moves way too smoothly.
Yeah,
but it's so beautifully done.
Also, I want to shout out the heel turn from the bug aliens, who are shooting the whole time, and they're like, capture the meep, and it's very they're very authoritative, and then they get to the trial, and one of them's like, allow me to introduce myself.
Yeah.
I am Captain Zogroth of the Warriors Zogroth. I've been sent here in order to capture this meep kind. He just very eloquently explains the whole thing, and I'm like, I love this bug man so much.
And then the meep kills them in cold blood, and he goes, and as he's dying, he turns to Donna and he's like, I regret retiring, or whatever he says. I
must regret that I am retiring from duty.
Yes, yeah.
No, so gross. No, I loved you.
No.
Why? So sad. Oh, but the moment where the Meep is like, because Tennant, the doctor goes in and is like, what do you say in your defense? And there's this moment where it's got like the cute face, and then the eyes, like the pupils, like
teeth
shrink, and the teeth come out. He's like, oh, to hell with this.
Yeah.
So what happened to the Meep?
God, it was so the turn into
But
this,
it's so
and the
it's so
ears
good.
flick up into this evil face as well.
It's so good
Oh
because
my
for the
God.
rest of the episode, the Meep is literally just like, Meep kind will conquer all.
Yeah.
Meep kind will rule, and all the soldiers are like, for Meep kind. It's just like, this is so like unserious. I love it so fucking much. It's
Oh.
just amazing.
It was such a great flip.
It just made me so happy.
Yeah. So the Meep then kidnaps them, takes them to the ship. He's gonna he takes them to the spaceship they originally crashed, and they're like, he's like, oh yeah, gotta repair the spaceship, and the doctor's like, oh, but to take off in the spaceship, you'll destroy like so much of London that basically you'll kill like a billion people or something.
5 miles deep.
Yeah.
9 million people dead.
Yeah, like, and they're like, that's crazy.
And the Meep is like, yes, I love death.
Yeah, and the Meep's like,
Yes!
yes, good, Anakin, good.
Literally. It's just so much fun. It's just so like,
Yeah.
it's so goofy and enjoyable. It just makes me really
the Meep
happy.
doesn't give a shit. He's the last of his kind. He's like a fucking crazy maniac.
Excuse me. The Meep
Oh,
only
sorry, the
uses
Meep.
his
Sorry,
own-
yeah, right. So the Meep doesn't care. The Meep is a crazy maniac who only cares about the Meep's own destruction and death.
But we've
But
kind of covered
Ashley,
how this.
yeah, and then Ashley saves them. And then
and they go to stop the Meep. The Doctor is forced to bring Donna back.
Well, Donna chooses to Donna. Oh no, there's a great moment because Ashley saves them, and the Doctor goes to stop the ship, and then Donna starts going with her family, and then they get to this locked door, and the family go through, and Donna locks the door behind them, and she goes, "The Doctor can't do it without my help, or the Doctor's gonna need some help if he's gonna save the city." And nobody had mentioned the Doctor's name the whole episode. They intentionally avoided saying who he was because they didn't want the Donna to remember. So nobody had said the Doctor's name specifically. The whole episode of Doctor Who, nobody had said his name. It was great. and Donna's mum just sort of says really quietly, she goes, really sadly, she goes, she remembered his name. And it was really sad. And I just started crying a lot. And I basically didn't stop crying for the whole rest of the episode. Because I was like, Donna's fucking dead.
Do you want my abridged rest of the episode?
Yeah, because I think we talked about most of it.
Yeah. She goes back. There's a great moment where the Meep is like, bisect the amphicisms, and a little window just sort of cuts the room that they're in half. Like they're inside the rocket, and there's like the control, and it literally is like, bisect the banjo bombs, and it bisects the room. It's like, that's part of your launch sequence, okay. But Donna's on one side, Doctor's on the other, and he like reactivates her brain. There's also a great because she's like, 9 million people will die. I don't care, I have to like bring them back. And then he like reactivates her, and then she looks at him and she's like, I gave away 160
million pounds.
million pounds.
Yeah.
106. Oh my
he's
god!
like,
yeah.
Donna, the city's gonna explode.
City Donna, please.
And she's like, 178 million pounds. And he's like, because I had
because I wanted to be like
yes,
you.
he's like, because I had and it was like some like techno jargon, like a cognitive psychic feedback loop that made me want to be like you, like this. Like,
So fucking good. But they save the day and they cancel the launch thing. And the thing comes up. And there's a beautiful moment where she falls over in his arms.
But she's dead, and we all cry.
Yeah, and we all. I didn't cry because I was like, oh, this is really sweet. This is a really nice goodbye for her to like go out on. Because most companions get really shit outros, to be honest. They all just kind of get like murdered for the most part. So it was actually really sweet for her to go out like this. And then I can't. Tennant gives us some really sweet lines. I actually can't remember what he says. But some soldiers come in, and he's like, I don't care.
Because he said like, he said something about like, about, oh god, I'm trying to remember exactly. Something about, he's like, oh, you saved them all, and she like asks why his face came back, and he said he doesn't know.
To say goodbye.
And then he said to say goodbye.
It was really sad, and that bit did actually get me.
Yeah.
And some soldiers then they come in, and he's like, I don't care what you do to me. You were defeated by the Dr. Donna. I was like, I forgot that was her fucking name. That's such a stupid name. And
then I was wondering if they were just going to shoot him and he was going to turn into Shooty right there, because I have no idea what's going to happen. I don't even know. I don't know what's going to happen. I was like, holy shit, they've just fucking killed Donna off in the first episode. I was like, holy shit, is Shooty going to come in fucking episode 2? I was like, I have no idea. Because I've not watched much of the episode. I've got no idea how much of like the little tiny bit of the first teaser I've seen, how much of it is from this episode, how much of it is like smushed together, like chopped up little bits of whatnot. So I've got no clue, like, what's gonna happen. So,
and then they get, I can't remember exactly what it is. I think there's like an explosion or something. Or like a little like screen shake or something. They all kind of just stand down suddenly.
My Discord died.
And
oh, hey.
Rose comes in over the intercom and starts saying techno jargon. And we're all like, oh, hang on a minute. And then he's like, and then Donna comes back to life. And they're like, hang on, how are you not dead? And he's like, oh, you had a child. And the child took some of your Time Lordishness. And that's
slow down.
So they've got the same thing as and it's like slowing you down.
Hooray! And then
they're like, oh, binary, non-binary, and that's when they say that the Doctor's non-binary, and I'm just like, what the fuck is happening right now? This is wild.
Were they saying that she's non-binary because she's
also non-binary? I think Rose is also non-binary.
The
Doctor the Doctor and Rose are non-binary. I think that's what they were saying here.
I see.
Because the Doctor and Donna were like binary, and then Rose cuts in and is like non-binary. It's just like, this is so stupid, but okay. They save the day, and we kind of get like the outro, which is like them celebrating.
Very nice. And then they're gonna go and see Wolf.
And they're like, oh, what are we gonna do? You've still got the problem. Wow, that's you male presenting doctors can figure it out. Like, okay, sure. They just
because it's just because the Doctor was just a woman, so that's all. I'm boiling it down.
No, it was a stupid thing to say.
It was very weird.
Why would you assume that? See, that's
why would you assume the Doctor's
we're back in gender
anyway?
roles. We're back in. That's like, oh, men would never figure this out. Like, what? Excuse me? Do you want me to go work in the kitchen? Is that what we're saying here? Like, that's why it kind of miffed me a little bit.
It was very weird. Plus, the Doctor was literally just a woman, so
it was funny but weird and not quite.
Literally, the Doctor just identified as a woman 10 seconds ago. It was literally like probably like, I don't know, 5 hours ago for the Doctor. Like,
there's a lot going on. But what I want to point out is that they quote unquote let go of the like Time Lordness, and there's like a dissipation of Time Lord energy from both of their bodies. and then the camera zooms in on Rose, and she smiles, and she goes, "I'm finally me."
Yeah.
And I was like, hold on.
Yeah.
Did she just regenerate her body
I think
into,
she did.
into what she was? Like,
I think she did.
Did she just fucking?
Yeah.
Did she just fucking surgery herself?
Do you remember earlier in the episode of the podcast when I was saying, "Don't magic away your problems"? I think she did.
Oh no, I like that. I don't give a fuck. That's hilarious.
I think she did.
I'm like,
and
pop
I was a
off,
bit like,
queen. I was like, yeah, let's go. Well, because it doesn't actually change
I was
the
a bit
fact
like,
that she's still trans. She's still, the actor's still, like, there's still this, I think what would be weird is if she'd magicked away so she'd never been, like, trans.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh, I've magicked myself so that I've been a cis woman. Like, that would have been weird.
Oh, yeah, that's
But no,
fair
it was like, oh, you've got a machine of automatic bottom surgery? I'll take it.
Yeah.
Like, let's go.
That's true. That's very true. Plus, I mean, if Donna hadn't fucking got rid of all that money, she could have had private fucking healthcare. Fuck's
No
sake, Donna.
recovery period?
Jesus
Hell yeah.
Christ, Donna, okay? Oh.
She gave it away to charity. It's
I
fine.
mean, that's true, but honestly,
Should
think of all that
charity
private
herself.
healthcare that Rose could have been having. Oh,
So
shaking my
yeah,
head.
that's a moment I just wanted to draw attention to because it's really quick and the way they say it, I think some people might not realize, and I didn't
know.
realize until I thought about it, and I was like, wait a second.
I was still leaning on
Oh,
the
Jesus.
magic thing, though. I was a bit like, magicking away your problems.
I think it's fine. I think because to me that is a form of healthcare. That's gender affirming healthcare.
Magicking away your problems.
I'm like, yo, if I could get Time Lord juice in a tablet and it would do what I wanted, I would.
Yeah,
Like,
I
let's
mean,
go.
everybody would. But
Yeah, I would. I would take the Time Lord pill.
yeah,
I think it's fine because I think it's great. I don't know. It seemed really like great to me. Anyway, then we get the outro. I want to shout out Camden Market for being the location that they shot this in. They're walking away from the Cyberdog and towards the TARDIS.
Okay.
I've been in that Cyberdog. I know someone who works in there. That's a sex shop. There are dildos
yep.
in the basement.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Yeah.
I haven't been to that part. I've just been to the cyber part, but I've looked down, like looking into a dark, glow stick filled dungeon where only vibrators lurk.
Okay.
And yeah, no, I just immediately I was like, that's Camden Market. That's the Cyberdog I've been to. Holy shit. Let's go, sex toys. But yeah, then they go into the TARDIS.
And the TARDIS.
They have a little.
It looks like a Star Trek now.
It looks great. There's this great moment where the Tennant and Donna are like super excited, and they're just like, "It's amazing!" And it's like, "Oh, these two are very sweet." And then the Doctor gives Donna a cuppa.
Yeah, a cup
and
of
she's
coffee.
like, yeah, and she's like, oh, this is how I got fired from my last job. And it's just like, okay, we're gonna do this, aren't we? And then she's like talking and she's like waving the cup around.
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
like, ooh,
and I was
she's
like, I
super
was thinking,
animated.
I know, I was like, is she just waving the cup around because the actress is waving the cup around a lot, and then she just fucking throws a cup of coffee all over the TARDIS and it sets on fire.
It's so good.
And I was like, okay, here we go.
And she's like, because that's how I got fired from my last job, because I spilled a cup and then she fucking flings it and she's immediately like, oh fuck, I've done it again. The whole thing's on like immediately the entire TARDIS catches fire. Donna's mum is on the outside like, oh for fuck's sake, it's happening again.
Yeah, Donna's mum was like, please just
damn it.
She was like, no, you can't go in the TARDIS. And like, oh, just one little quick trip to see Wilf. He'll love it. He'll be so happy. And she's like, okay, just a quick trip to see Wilf. And
all of
like,
the
yes, just
people are just
Will.
like cheering.
They could have just gone in the
from
fucking
the stands.
taxi. They did
It's
not need
just-
to go in the TARDIS.
It's amazing. It's so good.
But yeah,
And
the
then, the episode
TARDIS
ends.
looks like the Enterprise from the Kelvin universe. it's big J.J. Abrams Kelvin universe Enterprise vibes. It's all sleek and white and got those big railings. That's what it's giving me. That's what I feel like when I look at it. All the big lights. If it's got some huge lens flare in the next few episodes, then I feel like
what I love
RTD's just been watching a lot of J.J. Abrams
the RGB lights.
Star Trek.
I was like, oh, it's really sleek and white, and I wonder where all those doors go. And then they turned on the gamer lighting, and it was like, time for blue, time for yellow, time for red. Ooh. It's like, okay, they got RGB LEDs in this thing, I guess. Oh, I think it'll look good with shooting.
Also, we didn't talk about how incredibly gorgeous the opening.
Oh yeah, I wanted to mention that.
Like
the new opening is wonderful.
Like it was so like gooey.
It's the first opening,
and beautiful.
I think it's the first opening since maybe Tennant that I've like really vibed with. I can't. Maybe the Smith one was fine.
Like
I think I listened
I don't know
to
like what they've specifically done with the visual effects of it, but it's just so like.
I was on the music vibe.
Oh,
I think the music is
the
so
VFX
much better,
and they're so.
I'll
like,
take a look real quick.
They look so expensive. Like the way that they're just so. I think they're like such a massive upgrade from anything they've done before. I think they're like.
It is. It absolutely is.
Just tiny particle effects and stuff are like, holy crap!
It looks great. I think the music is because they've had this like orchestral thing going on for a bit with I think Whittaker and Capaldi, but it just didn't sound good. Like it was just kind of, it fell flat for me. But they kind of, I think it feels like they've combined the sort of original like very sort of tin can vibes of Tennant and Eccleston, whereas very like woo, and the like woo, woo, like those kind of noises. And they've got these like string instruments coming in, and they've done it in a way that's really like satisfying. Where like listening to it, it's like they open with the like ooh, ooh, and it's like
it just
tin can, and then the fucking instruments come in. It's like da da da. And it's like
is it Murray
powerful.
Gold again? Like it has that.
Yeah, I thought I would hate the new logo, but actually, given how hilariously goofy and fun this episode was, I think it's perfect. I think it's a great.
Did you like the Marvel style?
Well, the DCU,
the like
the Doctor Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
I was like, for fuck's sake, if we're actually getting like a DWC.
Disney's put a fucking huge amount of
I swear to God,
money into the thing, and it's being hosted internationally on Disney Plus. So, and I think they are probably might be doing some spin-off things. Again. So
are we actually gonna? Oh no, am I gonna have to restart back to hating
cinematic
it?
Universe? Maybe Torchwood will be back. I'm hoping we get to see Gwen.
But yeah, Gwen.
Gwen. You know Gwen from Torchwood. Gwen.
Yeah, Gwen from Torchwood.
She's Welsh. You not watch Torchwood?
No.
It's
I want to see Captain Jack Harness kiss someone.
Well, I mean, I don't know if he's going to come back because there was, all of the allegations of him doing various things a long time ago when he was...
Dial that back. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Dial that one back.
I know, maybe... that's why he was going to be in the last season of Doctor Who more.
Oh, shit.
But then they were like, no,
I want a different actor to come back.
That's why we want Gwen.
Role-playing as... I just want a different actor who has the role that Captain Jack Harness held of just like sexy bisexual guy who totally also is immortal and just kisses everyone.
Yeah, we can.
We need a new one.
What, the Doctor?
Is the Doctor gonna? Well, the Doctor can't like go around kissing everyone. They're fucking neurodivergent as fuck. I don't know. There was. You know what? I really enjoyed this episode. Donna's husband. I don't know what it is about him, but his vibes were just so like. he got in a taxi with the Doctor, and they got along real well, and it was kind of fun. He got home to a like Renaissance painting of the Doctor, Meep, Rose, Donna, and her mum. It just like looked hilarious.
And he was just like,
oh, what's that
dinner
lovely
smells
smell?
nice.
Yeah. And then at the end, Donna's like, oh, aren't you worried about me going in a box with another man? And he was just like,
not this
oh,
man.
that man. Like, his vibes were just on point. It was great.
It is Murray Gold doing the music again.
Which ones did Murray Gold do?
They did series 5, which is Matt Smith's era. They did series they did David Tennant's era as well.
Okay, yeah, good choice. It slaps. It's good.
Yeah,
I love it.
And I think they also did do series 9 with Peter Capaldi. I think they've done basically most of the Doctor Who's, to be fair.
Hey, they just didn't. I didn't enjoy it as much for some reason. They got rid of the whooshing and the tin can vibes, and it made me sad. It's like it needs to be. I need less orchestra, more goofy stuff.
Yeah, I'm not sure who did. Oh, series 11 with Jodie's one was somebody else.
Is there anything else you want to? I feel like we've covered.
I feel like we've covered everything.
Everything.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably.
We're gonna
the best
stop
place to
recording.
wrap up.
I'm gonna instantly remember something I wish I'd said.
No,
I've read
I think
all of
that's
my
it.
notes.
I didn't make any
Unit
notes.
having RPGs was really funny.
Oh yeah.
that was great. I enjoyed that.
RPG.
A van gets exploded. Like, yep, this is the Doctor Who we live in now. Sure.
No, I didn't make any notes. I just completely free YOLO'd this episode of the podcast.
Yeah, me. Well, no, I made 2 pages of notes, and then I ran out of pages in my notebook. Anyway.
Yeah, I think that's...
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. We'll be back next week.
For episode 2. This incredibly fun adventure that I'm so excited for.
I'm hoping for more trans stuff.
I hope it's fun. The trans stuff was so good this episode that I'm satisfied for a very long time. Unless they queerbait again, and then they're gonna have to make up for it again by having like somebody kiss a load of in a really gay way, you know.
More lesbian stuff.
More lesbian stuff.
Oh, thank you for listening, everybody. Mwah.
Are we kissing the viewers now?
I don't know. Probably need a better outro. Thank you for listening, everybody. See you next time. Goodbye.
I'm gonna cut that. I'm gonna put the kissing in.
No kiss.